Hip hip! Hey everybody, welcome back to For Reels. It's like real, like it's a film reel, but like for real, like it's in like for real life. It's a play on words, man. And now here's your hosts, Lisa Gale and Brian Boswick.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the fucking show. I am one of the hosts. That's the Brian.
And this is the Lisa.
Thank God. So
and then
we got a special.
Then we have an amazing guest.
Yeah, we do. Yes. We have an amazing guest. As she just said, it's somebody that you may or may not know. You probably don't know her, and that's your fault. So it's the one, the only WeeDotArt.
Hi everyone. Oh,
WeeDot.
That was the silent applause. I was thinking I was going to put the sound effect in later, but I really don't want
got
to.
it. Got it. Oh, no, the silent applause works. It definitely works.
Good. Okay. So,
Yes.
how the hell are you?
I'm fine. Thanks. Yeah,
We definitely
I'm great.
take like 40 minutes to set this up. Sorry, 42 minutes to set this up before we got going.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a little challenging, but we're rolling with it. So
Also,
okay.
I just want to point out, like, I can't fix my life. This podcast is full of absolute fucking it's just broken, okay? It's a broken thing that people are going to have to learn to live with our unprofessionalism, okay? But the thing is, my lighting is terrible and I can't fix that either. So I look like a pasty.
Mine is too. I have to change mine too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay.
at least
It's okay.
At least you're in shadow, so you can see. You look fine. I look like a pasty white piece of shit, more than usual.
I was gonna say, and that's different than how.
My name's Lisa, and I'm jokes. Anyway, so I wanted to come on the podcast so we could talk to her about. I was going to ambush her with a Die Hard question, but then I thought that's kind of stupid. Why would we talk about Die Hard? Because we already know, everybody knows both of our feelings on Die Hard.
And Wee's is correct and yours is not, but whatever.
First of all, she's a guest. You're one of the hosts. Take my side for once. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
No.
It's whatever, fine. You guys can think that Die Hard's a Christmas movie all you want. I don't, because it isn't. I don't care. Anyway.
Wait, I have video proof of you saying that it is, though.
No, we don't. No, she doesn't. Nope. Please cut her feed. Cut her feed. Thank you very much. Okay.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not technically capable.
So
wait a minute. I do.
So I want to.
Video.
I actually want to talk about certain things. Like, you know, how you, not that anyone cares, because like this is a podcast for, well, no, you know what, this is a podcast for gravers and people from TikTok that know us. So like technically people will care about what you have to say
Eventually.
instead of, because I'm talking about putting it on YouTube. So like there's a bigger audience there that doesn't know about us or TikTok. So they probably won't give too much of a shit since we're not famous, but like, fuck those people. This is for the people that we know and the people who care. So I want to talk about first how you started, where you came from.
For the rest of you, I care.
Yes.
I know what he said, but I do care. So.
Lisa cares. I care like 96% just so I have some leeway, just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
Yes. So I want to talk about how you started, where you came from on TikTok, and then I want to get into your favorite movie. Like that's a general curiosity of mine. And I don't know about what Lisa wants. I prepared. I don't know about Lisa. I have questions prepared. What about you?
I was gonna talk about movie stuff, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, no, we can. Yeah, we're gonna talk about movies. That's because that's the whole point of this podcast. But I also wanted, since Wee's here, I wanted to direct more of the attention to her about her things and her life and.
Okay.
Tell us about your life and your direction.
Where did WeeDot come from?
The actual name WeeDot?
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah. That's not where I was going with it, but that's a better route.
All right.
More clear, succinct.
I was in what was called commercial art class back in the early 90s in high school. and we had an assignment that we had to actually design our own alphabet, lowercase and capital. And then we also had to develop a letter with its own sound. And I came up with a weird little swirly thing at the dot at the end.
Oh,
And my
that's your logo.
no, it's not my logo. The actual on my website, actually, it does tell the history of how I came up with the word VDOT and where it generated from. But it's like just a little swirly thing, and then there was a dot at the end. And my teacher and I was not prepared either. And this is prior to me even naming like my piece. When I was finished, I didn't name it. I just gave him the assignment, and then he was like, "Okay, so what's your sound for this new letter?" And I literally just went. I just followed the line and went wee dot, and it stuck. That was 1990.
Hey, that's the year I was born. God damn it.
So her name is as old as Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 31 years old. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know. I really did not know
My
that.
logo that I have on like my TikTok and that I use everywhere else is actually 28 years old. Originally, it hasn't changed. It's exactly the same from 28 years ago.
It's timeless, kind of like we,
It's timeless.
unlike Brian.
True. Yeah.
I don't understand that joke, but that's fine. So okay, well that's actually I'm not kidding. I'm not saying this for like the podcast. Like I actually did not know that. That's very interesting.
Yep.
I can't believe you've never told me the origin of your name. I didn't even know there was an origin.
She told it on the Bones show, but
All right, listen. I was there. Hey, don't even tell me I wasn't there. I was part of that. I had to come, but they didn't let me watch it until I could come. Oh, no, you could watch it. I just didn't because I was an asshole.
No, it's fine. There was a
Thank
lot
you.
going.
Listen,
The Bones show, there was a lot going on. that
yeah, no.
night.
To be fair, okay, the reason I didn't watch most of her episode was because he asked me to be a part of it like 10 minutes before they were starting it. So I had to come up with something. And that entire time I was like trying to scramble to do something to come up with an idea. And then by the time I figured it out, he was like, let's bring him in. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. So, I didn't have time to watch, but I watched afterwards. So if she said anything before it came on, I didn't know what it was. All right.
That's fine.
Okay.
No, I don't tell that story a lot. I mean,
Well, that's pretty interesting.
not a lot of people ask it because I just, I don't know. No one asks, why the fuck are you named WeeDot?
See, one of the things that aggravates me is that I've always wanted a nickname, right? And when I joined TikTok, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I just used my first and middle name. Now I've met people like Zombie Bride, WeeDot, whoever, who has like these great freaking like names. And here's me, Lisa.
No, but like Lisa Gale like works. It works.
Yeah, I mean, it's your name, but it's also.
She's actually,
Like,
there was actually a famous
WeeDot
actress named
is-
Lisa Gale, actually.
WeeDot is technically not my actual nickname around my friends. Like my close friends, my childhood friends, my husband, that is not my nickname.
Yeah, but I can't call you by your first name. I only do it in very intimate times because
It's not even my friends don't call me by my first name either. Barely do I ever hear my mother is the only one that really uses my name.
Yeah,
Even Mike called me by my nickname.
Really?
Not
Oh, shit, okay.
Not WeeDot though. WeeDot is not my true nickname.
What's
yeah,
your
but
nickname?
but somehow
My true nickname is Care Bear.
That is weirdly fitting. Makes sense for
is.
the name, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, my husband calls me that. My best friend that lived 5 houses down the road from me, she calls me that. She's actually the first one who generated it. She's called me Care Bear.
Huh. Okay.
there's a TikTok artist, I can't remember their name, but you know how there's the
Bear.
Care Bears?
He does the Scare Bears.
He does the Scare Bears and he has like
Bears.
disgruntled bear.
Yeah, they're
and
pretty
stuff.
cool.
I would love
Yeah.
to see a WeeDot bear.
Oh my
Yeah, why don't
god.
dude, if we could find somebody to make like bear
Caricatures?
versions of the Gravers. That'd be so
Care Bear versions of the Gravers.
Your versions of the
Yeah,
Gravers.
dude,
That actually would be
awesome.
cool.
or just any kind, just like a stuffed stuffed animal bear of just the Gravers. John Bear could
Some
have like a little
animal
fucking
kind
Hawaiian
of
shirt on
thing.
with the glasses and the hat, and that'll be it.
Oh God.
And also
Okay,
they can
no,
put,
John's bear has to have pants. I'm sorry.
fine. He can have pants in, but they can also put a battery pack in
There'll be
his.
just little red underwear. That'll
They
be
can
it.
put a battery pack in the back of John's bear and like press the hand and it'll vibrate.
It shakes.
So-
Women, that'll be on sale in our merch store very soon for you.
Dude, that's a
welcome.
great idea. Like, sorry, sorry.
Put
No,
like a
Um,
vibrator up its ass and just.
As a representative of Darkstone, I do not condone this idea.
Somehow though, I think John would. So.
yeah, I don't see a problem with it. So, okay, where, when,
Ladies, do
when-
you have trouble sleeping?
what? Oh my God, are you doing an ad right now?
Ladies, do you need help? You
I'm
know,
so glad
having
he's
those
napping
not
right
so
now.
easy to relax nights.
I'm actually really glad
Let's
he's
get
napping
you
right
the John Johnson
now. No, okay.
Hair
All
Bear.
right. So on to the next question.
Tell us what your favorite movie is.
Welcome to TikTok.
I thought I had, wasn't there something else after that, before that?
Oh, that kind of excited me.
Zombie, what was your next question?
Oh, I was just gonna say where. Okay, so TikTok, where, when, and how?
I started the first week of February and I, was it 2019?
Oh, I was
And
gonna say,
then,
They're
yeah,
the
it was
bear
the
versions
first
of
week.
Gravers, that's
My actual like join date is like February 4th, 2019. And for over 3 months, I never showed my face. All you saw was my lips. But it did it in a really cool style. No one else was doing it. It was when you could do the reaction bubbles.
Hmm.
And so I would take different backgrounds and then I would do like my eye in one bubble and then I would
yeah.
layer my lips on top. So the last layer was always, I would do the layered reactions. So the last layer was always my lip syncing mouth to whatever song I was doing. I was the only one that did that. And then they took it away and I have much more choice but to show my face. So
Well, that's pretty interesting.
Bastards.
So yeah,
That's
I really technically
why
the
we're
very
here.
first video that you see of me like showing my face was not gonna say anything. Here we go. Hot. You know, it was that, and you finally see my face.
This is kind of reveal.
So
I always tried to keep my videos black and white, but then I think I broke character at one point and did a color video because I had all of this Bulls red gear, like a hat and a sweater and a shirt and all that stuff, and I wanted to duet somebody, and I thought like that's a waste to just wear all of this color coded shit and not like see
You'll
it.
not be able to do anything with it.
So I literally just went color for one time, and I broke a cycle of like a year and a half of having all black and white for the entire time, and then one color. Then I went back to black and white for a second. Then I was like, "Fuck it." And now here I am.
yeah. Well, I mean, my layered videos were pretty elaborate and everything, and I did that in the TikTok app. I wasn't doing any editing. You know, I wasn't using any editing outsource.
Yeah,
Editing.
that impresses me about people like with TikTok who doesn't have something like with me, like I have Final Cut and I can do whatever I want and then upload a video. But like people back in the day, they had to get creative and fucking do whatever they wanted.
Well, I mean, I had the ability to do it. I just didn't because I mean, I was just doing, I mean, it was working for me. I didn't have to show my face and I was fine. But then when I had to start showing my face and like, and people like, you know, finding people to collab with and inspire off of and stuff like that, which is like a big deal. And people saying, you should do these things, try it. It's not going to be that bad. So you do. And then, you know, I mean, I look at my editing skills for my very first TikTok that I loaded up that I edited versus now. I actually like redid one.
I was gonna
like,
say, didn't you I thought you
ago.
redid a couple.
I redid one that I took the original video that I did and I was like, let's see if much different I edit now versus like almost 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh shit, I've come a long way. I'm
So
like,
bad. So
I was
bad.
like, and I thought I was this shit back then. I was like, look at me. And I'm like, no. I was like,
That's definitely that's something that people, I wish I would have had the editing skills and stuff that I have now when I first started. Because like
Oh yeah.
I probably would have blown up a little bit faster than, I mean, arguably still haven't blown up, but like I would have been where I am now probably faster than.
well, I guess my mission, according to everybody on TikTok, is to kill everybody with epilepsy right now.
Well, because your videos are,
Yes.
it's insane. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the video, when I see something like when I scroll and then here comes one of your videos and it's a solid color. Okay.
I'm a little abrupt.
I have to sit there. I blink a couple times to just make sure I'm like awake and fully functional before.
You haven't gone
and then I play
insane.
it. I'm not even kidding. Like I prepare
Like a
myself
schizophrenic break or something.
because even watching your videos, like I'm not epileptic at all. I don't have a problem with like watching flashing lights and shit like that. Nothing triggers me or anything, but like watching your videos on this tiny screen, like this far away from my face, it's just like,
Yeah, I'm not, my videos are highly not recommended in a dark room in a bed.
Didn't your mom ever tell you not to like read books under the covers? I think that's the same for your phone.
You
Don't be under the covers with the
Don't watch
phone
I'm
up.
fucked up anyway. I think I'm nearing the part where I have to get glasses because at a certain distance things become like unreadable for me. Like I was in Kroger the other day walking down the aisle. You guys probably don't. Do you know what that is? Kroger? You should have.
We know what Kroger store,
Yeah.
groceries.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, I'm just whatever. Anyway, I was walking down the aisle and they have, you know how they have like they have those big ass like signs that say like,
oh, okay.
no, they have they're hanging this big ass like ad signs or something that says like, you know, produce over here or whatever, something like that. And I was walking and there's the sign like 20 feet in front of me with big ass lettering. And I was like, I had to look at it. I was like, oh, produce. Okay. Like I couldn't see it. And it worried me. I was like, I'm 31, dude. I don't need glasses. I do, apparently. It's a little scary.
So wait a minute. So now, originally you were going to ask Guida what is her favorite movie, because it's an obsession with you. You like to know everybody's favorite movie.
Okay. So
but I'm going to switch it.
I want to know.
No. You don't get to know. You don't get to know her favorite movie. Nope.
They don't get to. We know what it is.
Oh, you think you know what it is? Okay, go ahead.
What?
I feel like this is a trap.
Are we not? We know what her favorite movie. Do you think there's another movie?
What's your favorite movie, WeeDot?
Tim Burton's A Nightmare for Christmas.
Okay. Yeah. What the fuck were you thinking, Lisa?
I don't know. I think I had a seizure. I was watching one of her videos. So so then what would be the polar opposite? What would be a movie that you hate?
Oh yeah, good idea.
Hate.
I can't wear these anymore.
Hate is like a really strong word. There's some movies I would put it down to, what movie would I fall asleep the fastest to?
Okay.
Maybe than actual like hate a movie, because you can't hate a movie altogether, because someone took the time, the money, the creativity and everything like that. You can't really go and trash all that because there was motivation. You don't want to do that. I'm just saying, everybody starts from somewhere. But
True.
If I had to say the most quickest movie I think I've ever fell asleep to was The Apocalypse of the Eagles or the Birds or something like that. What is it? It's the most...
The Birdemic? Birdemic. Okay, that movie is like purposely shitty. That's the point. It's terrible on purpose.
I know. But it is the quickest movie I've ever fell asleep to, though. Literally. It took me literally 5 minutes in and I fell asleep.
That's actually surprising. I think I would have stayed awake just to see how stupid it is on purpose. Like I don't know if
No, the dialogue was killing me and I just went, night.
you know how it took me four viewings of Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey before I saw the whole thing in its entirety.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
that one there's a lot that one can drain you. I could say that
Like-
one is a sleeper too for me.
I'm one of the world's biggest Kubrick fans, and that movie took me 4 times to watch it before I got through. The first time I watched it, I couldn't even get through the Dawn of Man sequence in the beginning with the monkeys.
Oh no.
Couldn't even get through that. Because it was like 20 minutes of them just fucking around doing nothing, just being monkeys. I was like, is there like more to this? Isn't there? Don't they go in space? Like, what the hell? Why are we? It's crazy. I was just like, screw it, I don't care. Then the second time I got to like the meeting area with the one guy, whatever Floyd, whatever his name is, like him having the meeting with the people talking about the mission that they're going on, which was the next scene. I got past the monkey scene and I got to the next scene. I was like, all right, here we go. Fuck, I don't care anymore. Like it took 4 times.
It takes that one. You gotta make sure you take a nap prior to seeing it.
I watched.
But wait a minute. But wait a minute. There's a difference between a movie that's boring, you know, but you can appreciate some of the cinematic, you know, fanciness of it all.
It's a beautiful movie.
But I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, one of my movies I really can't stand is Fargo.
Wow.
That's
I just really couldn't stand that movie.
Because it's boring.
Everybody in it, because you want to go in and fucking throat punch each and every single fucking person in that movie.
Because the accent.
No, it's just it just is a stupid, useless movie. It just pissed me off.
It's based on a true story. Of course, anything based on true stories is going to be boring as hell.
Not
No,
necessarily true.
Not unless they like
Vietnam.
purposely. Okay, unless they purposely like fuck with the facts and make it entertaining.
I don't know. I think Harvey Milk was a great fucking movie and it's based on a true story.
Milk was a good movie.
So,
It was a great movie.
So it's not that it's a true story. It's just that everybody in it is like, it's like weird because like, you know, you have the series that just ended, Shameless, and everybody in it is dysfunctional as fuck, but people keep turning in. But in Fargo, it's like, you just want to just throat punch them, just go away. I don't want to even know any of these people.
I actually didn't like Shameless.
We're gonna get so much hate mail. They're gonna be like, "How could you not love these people?"
I
just
tried
not a
to
movie I
watch
like.
that show. I literally tried to watch that show because they run the promos for that thing to be like just really awesome. There's advertising at its finest. It's like this is gonna be great. And I tried to watch the show and I'm like, couldn't do it.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those shows that you just the highlights are probably the best.
Yeah, the highlight. Yeah, I think I just rather just watch the trailers and then I was fulfilled.
I'm not gonna lie. 100%. I don't give a shit about Shameless, but I'm interested just because of allegedly the amount of sex scenes.
I haven't seen a single.
Pornhub.
Okay, no, I did see
You can just go
between
to
Ian and
Pornhub,
Mickey.
you'll
I
be
did
fine.
see some sex scenes there, but
Like I literally have no desire to watch the show at all. I'm just interested to see like why is it so heavily based on sex?
see, now that should be another topic, but not for tonight. Best sex scenes in movies that are not a rated X.
Ugh.
Oh
I just
my
watched
God.
a rated X movie because of a sex scene. There's a movie called Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke and
yes,
Robert De Niro.
and
That
Lisa
movie's actually-
Bonet.
yeah, that movie's rated X because of the one sex scene that he has
Really?
with the black girl and the blood and the water and everything. Yeah,
That was Lisa Bonet.
whatever. Her. So that movie was rated X because of that scene only. And by the way,
Actually,
that
she
movie
got
wasn't
kicked
that
off the
great.
Cosby Show because of that movie. But anyway,
I want to point out that movie wasn't that great.
Do you know that she's married to Aquaman?
I figured
She
that I
is
figured
now,
out the
you're
plot of
right.
that movie within 10 minutes of watching the movie. As soon as Robert De
you
Niro
figured
showed
out
up,
that he was the guy who.
what?
He was the guy who made the deal with the devil.
Yeah. Well, okay. Spoil. Jesus Christ. Spoiler. We're talking about a movie. If you haven't seen it, about to ruin it. But yeah, I figured out immediately the first scene De Niro was in. I was like, he's the devil. Because he's talking about this guy that he's trying to be, that he's looking for. He's like, he signed a contract with me and I need, I want what's owed. And I'm like, well, that's clearly he's the fucking devil looking for his soul.
Satan?
And then literally halfway through the movie, all the clues that they were dropping, which they thought, I assume they thought that they were being, clever about it. Halfway through the movie, I realized that the guy Mickey Rourke is looking for is himself. I figured it out.
Okay, but all right. So, do you feel like you got the ending as
the ending was
figured
terrible
out as
because I figured
quickly?
it out.
Oh yeah, the ending was absolutely horrible. But
Yes,
it was.
Yeah,
like
it was.
if it wasn't for the sex scene and Mickey Rourke before he looked horrible, I mean.
Fun fact: this movie, technically, he's involved. His character is technically involved with a major facial reconstruction. This is actually the second movie Mickey Rourke did that involved his character being having major facial reconstruction. The other movie is Johnny Handsome. Good movie. That's a good
I've
movie.
seen that, and that's a good
I
movie.
haven't seen
That
that
is a
movie.
fucking
That's a
fantastic
very
movie.
good. It is a fantastic movie, and I was excited to see Mickey Rourke play in that part.
I have to keep doing this to. By the way, if anyone's wondering, I have to keep doing this to like.
No,
Okay.
no.
My
This
white
is what he's
belt.
doing. You're running through the forest. You turn to the left. You turn
Running
to
through
the
the
right.
forest, and they stop.
You hit a tree.
What is that?
You hit a tree.
You don't know that?
Fuck,
Wait,
didn't
you
you
don't know
listen?
that?
I have no idea what you're
It's
doing.
an old drunk. It's an old drunk joke that you do to people. You're like, you go to them and you're like, you're running through the forest. You turn to the left. You turn to the right. Whoop! You hit a tree.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay, I don't drink, so how would I know these things?
Okay,
Yeah.
but now talking about sex scenes though.
Let's go back to the sex scenes. The other topic we're going to use for another episode. Carry on.
No. Go see with Mickey Rourke, Wild Orchid. You won't be disappointed.
What did you say?
I have a fun fact.
Fun fact. Yes, go.
So I opened an art gallery in a little town called Micanopy, and the actual building that I opened the art gallery in was the actual garage that was used in Doc Hollywood.
Which was a
And
very
that
sweet.
gallery, and that art gallery is still open in that same building today.
Wait.
Oh,
I haven't.
Oh, do you?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
What is this?
we timed out.
We'll just come back and do it again. You can
Wait,
edit
no,
it.
it said a
That's
gift
what
from
he's
Zoom.
good at.
Running out of time. We've removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean? Do we keep going?
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Cool.
Uh,
We got a
so,
gift.
hey,
Anyway,
this movie. I know for a fact I haven't seen it, but it is Michael
It
J.
has a lot
Fox,
of-
right?
it
Mhm.
does.
And he goes to Beverly Hills.
Yes.
No, he's on his way, and he has
to
a
be a
car
plastic
accident.
Right.
plastic surgeon.
Right. And yeah, okay. I
And
haven't
he gets
seen
in
it, so I
trouble,
have to-
and
I
he has
wanna
to
watch it.
stay in this little town, this bodunk town.
A good portion of it was filmed in a little town that's about 30 minutes south of me called Micanopy.
Henry Fonda's daughter was in it, wasn't it?
Mhm. I believe so.
So
But
okay,
anyways, I opened an art gallery in the garage.
that's amazing. Actually, okay, as soon because we were talking about sex scenes when you said fun fact, I thought you were going to talk about like I was actually involved in a sex scene in a movie. So you went a completely different route, and I thought,
No, you will never see me in a love scene
We'll
or
never see her sex movies. They're very, very.
I have
They're kept in a
yeah,
vault.
There, yes,
Several
but
bombs.
you will not see me kiss
Before you can
someone
ever
in
get
a
into 'em.
movie. You will not see me. No.
well,
No.
that's fine. Can I fix this? Does that help? I don't know if that helps. Probably doesn't help.
What are you gonna fix?
Technically, I've only been in one movie, so whatever.
Yeah, but you're going to be in like 3 once they're made. I don't know why I looked at the live for that part.
Well, they're
Anyway,
made.
okay, so,
I
Um,
think you were expecting like you were looking at John Johnson.
yeah.
So,
So,
oh yeah, that's a good one too, Jenny.
what was I going to say? Fucking.
Nine.
All right. So, your favorite movie, Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
No,
What?
Tim Burton's the.
Oh my God. Can we? All right.
Tim Burton.
You really
I'm
have
not-
to do the whole title every time? Is that a thing?
That's the complete
does.
title of the movie.
Fuck me sideways. All right. So your favorite movie is that
That would hurt.
that you just said. Now,
Yes,
Although I think Mickey Rourke did that in Wild Orchid, but whatever.
that's true.
why? What is
He
your
fucked Zombie Bry sideways.
obsession? What's your obsession? What is your why are you so passionate about this movie? Like me and Back to the Future, like why? I'm actually quite curious about this for real.
Okay. Well, I actually saw it in the theaters in 1993 when it first came out. A friend of mine took a to it. I saw the movie trailers and I was really excited. I love stop animation ever since I, was a kid, and you watched, Rudolph and all the Christmas classics, and that was all stop animation. I just was always intrigued with it, and the puppetry and how they did it. So when Nightmare Before Christmas was coming out, I was like, finally one about Halloween. I'm like, finally, my favorite holiday. And went to see it, and I don't even think I touched like an inch of popcorn the whole time. I was like this, just watching this thing unfold.
And how old were you at this time?
I was 18. No, I was 19. 93, I was 19.
Zombie Bry was 3. No wonder he. So wait a minute. Before she continues with this, though, hold on a second. So, the reason why Zombie Bry and I are doing this podcast is we were at the Johnson house, and he had asked Zombie and I to do a podcast type thing, and he said in the middle of the podcast. Now, mind you, we're a bunch of people in this room. WeeDot is sitting on the floor by my leg between Zombie Bry and I. And she's just kind of leaning on her shoulders like this.
She was pissed off.
And Zombie Bry says, no, she wasn't pissed off yet.
That's good. I was good. I was just listening to you guys.
She became livid when he goes, I hate Nightmare Before Christmas.
I thought
it was
John's chair was
all the air in the room got sucked in.
And John's chair went.
We were like, he's gonna die.
He was like, John was looking at them and then went.
So I find it interesting now that he wants to know why she liked it.
Well, yeah, because I'm interested to know why she's so fascinated by it, like why it's such a passionate thing. Because
do you think it would change your mind then?
No, I still don't care for it at all. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying, I'm wondering why she likes it.
But do you think if somebody came to me and talked to me about Fargo, I'd be like, maybe you're right. Okay, but I don't think it could change.
Listen. All right, I've seen the movie.
Which one?
Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sorry, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because you were forced to, but okay.
No, I watched it on my own the first time. Before I even knew you guys, I watched it, which is how I knew I didn't like it. And then the second time I watched it was after we, however many interactions we had about it and all that stuff. And then I watched it again just to make sure. I was like, maybe I was too young to appreciate it. Because you were clear. What did you say? 19? I mean, I didn't know you were 19.
I was 19.
But 19. So I watched it the second time and I was like, I was right. Not great. Didn't like it. So yeah, I don't know. I really just don't care for it. I like animation, stop motion animation, like Paranorman, Coraline. Great fucking movies. I love those movies. They're amazing.
Coraline is good.
But this one just maybe it's the design, like the over exaggerated Tim Burton fucking design. I don't.
Oh, it's very Dr. Seuss.
Corpse Bride, great. I love that movie. But this one, I guess it's also probably because it's not Tim Burton, right? It's directed by.
It wasn't.
It was
directed by Henry Selick.
Yeah. So technically it's not a Tim Burton movie. So that's probably why, because if it was, it would probably look more like his other animated movies.
Tim Burton was barely on set because he was doing Batman.
Yeah. So,
But it's Tim Burton's story. It's his
Yeah.
original creation.
yeah. So I think it's the design that I don't like about it. Because
the
if it
thing
was,
is that the artistry, it is everything that was developed, it was taking off of Tim Burton's actual drawings. So when you look at this, when you look at how Jack looks, is very, very Bone Daddy style, and Sally's, almost looks like she could just fall over any second and everything. These are all taken from his drawings that he did of these characters, basically, and then, fudged a little bit by the other art departments to make them, work for the movie. But
wait a minute. So you've said why you don't like them, Zombie. But other than this movie, what would be a movie that you would hate?
are you kidding?
No, give me one movie.
I've made a list of movies I hate that people are aware of.
See, and we were trying to think of movies that we hate, and it's like,
Okay, ready?
have it.
You ready for this?
yes. Okay.
First off, you got Labyrinth.
Okay, wait. As you announce each one, WeeDot and I will say whether we agree or disagree that we like it or dislike it.
You're going to disagree with every single one of these. I know that already.
Not necessarily.
Okay, fine. Labyrinth.
Disagree.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The Princess Bride.
Inconceivable.
Did you have a childhood?
Yes, I did. I just didn't watch. I was watching more cartoons than live action stuff. I'm dying. Okay, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hate it.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
And then there's probably others that I can't think of right now, but
You made a list, man. Where's the list?
well, that's the top 3 that I always talk about that I don't like.
Okay, why don't you like Fear and Loathing? Although I'm not a big fan of it either, but
I don't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas because of the way that it's filmed. Same thing with Natural Born Killers. Same thing with that movie. The exact same reason, the way that they're filmed. I fucking hate it. The camera is so erratic, it's ridiculous. I understand. Okay, it makes more sense for Fear and Loathing with the camera because they're on drugs and it with the lens and stuff. It makes sense. Hold on,
Wait.
What?
But you like Blair Witch camera.
Yeah, no.
True.
Yes.
Touché.
The Blair Witch Project is a fucking masterpiece, okay? And that is a pioneer of the shaky cam genre, okay? Fear and Loathing's not trying to be shaky cam. That movie is deliberately fucking around with the camera because they're on drugs, which I understand. Great, but I don't like the way that it looks. But the shaky cam is supposed to be there, and that's a whole different other genre. Those movies can...
I actually didn't like Blair Witch because of the shakiness.
Well, that's fine. I mean, whatever. Everybody has their own opinions. The Blair Witch Project is a pioneer of filmmaking, okay? I just want to point that out. That movie is...
I would like to also point out that Blair Witch wasn't the first one to use shaky cams.
No. Okay. You're not wrong, okay? Technically the first movie, there's some movie back in like the 40s or something, whatever. There was that Peeping Tom movie that used the first person view. That was from the 60s. And then there was, I guess technically the first found footage movie would be Cannibal Holocaust in 1980. But the movie that people started accepting the shaky cam, and the movie that created the genre of shaky cam movies was Blair Witch Project. It's not the first, but it is the one that got everybody interested because that was the first time people, besides Cannibal Holocaust, everybody thought the actors were really dead in that movie, which for good reason, because all the animal deaths in that movie are real, which is disgusting. I fucking...
Wait a minute. They really killed animals in that movie?
Yeah, there's like 28 animal deaths in the movie. They hack up a turtle with a fucking hatchet on camera. It's disgusting.
Okay, so that's the end. That's the end of... I won't be watching it.
It's fucking horrifying. But yeah, the Blair Witch Project...
It sounds like I should watch it.
The marketing campaign for the Blair Witch Project is really what is amazing about it, because they put the actors' names on like fucking milk cartons. They made a website about them missing and all that stuff. They did everything.
Never saw that.
They made a fake hour-long documentary about the origin of the Blair Witch, and included at the end, like, people have been walking into the Black Woods and getting taken away and all that stuff, and they mention the kids at the end of the documentary. They went so out of their way to make people believe that this was a real thing. That's incredible. And then people watch the movie and they're like, wow, what happened? That was amazing. I liked it. But nobody listens, nobody pays attention at the end,
like,
when it says
way too Blair Witch here.
I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I love this movie. All right. Let me just splurge for a second. Let me splurge. At the end of the movie, it literally says directed by Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Mir. It says directed by, like it's a movie, but people still thought it was real. That's how much power that movie had.
So I would like I like to ask a question, because one of my biggest things, especially about horror movies, is good dead kills. Just like your best. What is the best death you have seen on film?
Oh, I can tell you right now. One of my favorite deaths in a movie, Final Destination 2, Rory.
Okay.
What was his death?
Explain in case people haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's technically part of a 2-part death where so the guy's like, after they get into the car crash and the tree trunk goes through the trunk and pins Kat in there, and the guy's like trying to get her out, and then he fucking smashes her head against the pole and kills her. Her dropping the cigarette lights this whole chain reaction that goes to this fence that blows this barbed wire fence up, fucking spinning towards Rory, and he's just standing there smoking a cigarette, minding his own business, and the fence just goes straight through him and cuts him into like 3 pieces. His fucking arm falls off, and he just like slides off into different directions and just. My favorite part of that whole thing is afterwards you can hear some guy in the background after Rory dies, like it's all silent. You can hear some guy in the background go, "Oh my god!" it's hilarious. But yeah, that's one of my favorite deaths in movies.
How about you, Lisa?
It's actually very similar. I can't remember the name of the horror film, but it's
explain the death at least if you can't remember the movie.
Zombie Bar will know it the second I say it. So they go downstairs. There's the zombies that were let out. Oh shit! And the woman and the man had amnesia. They didn't know who they were. One was a reporter. And the little girl was the computer, was like the voice of the computer.
Oh, Resident Evil. You're talking about Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Thank you. And when they go in there and they're trying to fight, like, because then the laser comes and chops off their fingers chops off the one guy's head.
Oh, God.
And then it kind of does a thing with, and the poor black guy at the end, the grid goes right through him, and all of his body parts go.
That was a fucking awesome effect. And I like that they saved money on that effect by showing him falling to pieces in the reflection of the door behind him and not actually on camera. That was genius.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was very genius.
Yeah, but that's a pretty fucked up death too. That was really good.
That's a great one.
I was super obsessed with like blood and guts back then in movies. Like that's why my obsession with horror is so strong, because I used to literally want to watch movies back then. I would specifically set out to look for movies that are rated R for like strong, bloody, graphic violence or whatever, just to see what it was. Like, I don't give a shit about the plot. I'll watch it, whatever.
Exactly. You're just there for the kills, like with how they do it. Yeah.
Because after I saw Halloween and then experienced the Friday the 13th movies, I was like, I need more of this fucking right now.
See how he's changed though. He was a little kid. See all the death and dismemberment, and now he's watching rated X films. This is great. Full circle.
No, I have changed though, because now I actually do care about the plot. Like, I don't care if it's rated R for whatever. If this movie sounds interesting, I'll watch it. But if it doesn't sound interesting, I don't give a shit.
You want to know the very first one, my favorite, and it's just because of its simplicity, and also just because you've never seen it before on film when it first came out, was Johnny Depp's death.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare.
Yeah,
that was a good one. The amount of blood that spewed out was amazing.
That moment that I saw that, because I was one of these kids that are like, you watch them and I would laugh at every death. I still do. I laugh at death scenes. Mike will try to find me the most goriest ones, and I will sit there and just go, I hit him on the arm and just laugh my ass off. I think he just does it to just watch me giggle. I will laugh at death scenes. Is it the more gorier they are, or the more ridiculous they are, or anything, I go for them. but that particular one, when he got dragged into the bed and that blood, it just engulfs the fucking ceiling. I was like, I did not, that's the only one that never made me laugh. I just sat there and went,
I think that might have been the first, I think that is the death that set the bar for all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
And it always made, and if anybody ever asked me which of them are my favorite, it's one because of that.
Yeah.
I know everybody hates
yeah.
the ending of one, and some people are, there's aspects of one that drives them crazy and stuff like that. And Freddy's a little different in one than he is in the others because they kind of develop but I get that. But
and fuck the remakes.
Because of that death, that one will always be in my heart. #1 classic, and also my favorite death scene.
That is also a death that is close to me too, because that's one I can remember very specifically. That is something when I first saw it, that is back then when I used to be, I'm still like this, but that was one of those deaths that I watched and I thought to myself, instead of like being engaged in the movie, I thought like, how the fuck did they film that? How'd they do that? Like I stopped thinking about the movie and I was like, how'd they do that? And then I realized, I actually looked it up and learned that they built the set upside down and turned, like that's just, that's so creative. That's like, that's a lot.
But who would think? I mean, you're sitting there in the pre-planning room. You're like, how are we going to kill Johnny off? It's like, what about blood on the ceiling? You're like,
no, that was amazing.
Well, but there's
go ahead. What?
Well, there's a difference between horror films so like I love horror films and I love zombie films and all those things, right? But and I know why the ending of Nightmare bothered people, the very first one, because it was obviously this horrible dream that she couldn't get out of. And a lot of us feel terrified of being stuck in our nightmare dreams, right? So there's like a whole genre of movies where like the poor person who's like you rooting for them to make it to the end don't. There's like a lot of Rob Zombie films like that.
Nobody lives in his movies. What do you?
I know, right? But like the girl like was like I don't remember which movie it was. Maybe it was a House of Thousand Corpses.
Now it's very, but you know what? Now it's very common to kill off the stars in the movies. Back then, or like
I know.
That's what you can't
like
trust
now it's a
nowadays
thing
at all, because
you can't.
Everybody's completely like they know exactly what to expect from horror movies with the cliches and stuff. And even the twists that people have that they did to get rid of the cliches, now people are getting used to the twists. So it's like how do you fix go back to the cliches?
Like No Country for Old Men.
Oh, that made me mad at the end. Oh, I was so mad. And when
because you don't know,
see something in that ending it's like a verb now. You're like, that fucking No Country of No Men of me. Fucking bitch.
Wait. Are you talking about like
how it ends?
Llewellyn died.
I mean, do you assume that yes, he does kill her? Because he did promise that he'd go do it.
But we're not sure. We don't fucking know.
But there's that conversation.
His wife. Well, I don't know. I was thinking you're talking about Llewellyn's death, which I didn't like the fact that they just like did some sort of weird random hard cut from like his adventure to now it's following Shiger the cop and Llewellyn's dead, and you don't get like a flashback of what happened or how it happened. It's just there it is and move on with the story.
There it is.
I was like, what the fuck? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending was a little
abrupt. Abrupt. Just like, no, tell me what happened.
What movie? No. Didn't the movie end with him sitting at the kitchen table talking to his wife, the cop? Is that another movie?
No.
What am I thinking?
The movie had to do with the guy's wife at the end.
No. But there's
promised that he'd go back, and that was it. That's the end of the movie.
No. I'm almost 100% positive No Country for Old Men ends with Tommy Lee Jones sitting in his kitchen talking to his wife. I'm pretty positive.
Right.
Something in my face. I'm pretty sure that's how. But yeah, that ending part with who did he kill her or not? That was like, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But
not a lot of people did.
Speaking of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, boy. I have so much respect for Jackie Earle Haley. He's a great. I was going to call him a she. He's a great. I said Haley, and I just went from. I went to girl.
It's 2021. It's okay.
Jackie Earle Haley is an incredible actor. Great character actor.
Yes.
He's
Yes, he is.
fantastic. However, no offense to him,
He's a hard pill to swallow for this.
There are certain characters in movies that you can't recreate, you can't replace. Like Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger that's it.
Right.
It's Robert Englund.
Gene Wilder.
Brad Dourif as Chucky.
Willy Wonka.
Brad Dourif as Chucky is you can't replace. He's Chucky. He's the voice. You can't have anybody else try and. Mark Hamill. Okay, listen, that Child's Play remake was actually pretty good. Mark Hamill did not do a good job as Chucky, but that movie was actually.
Jim Henson, Kermit. I mean, come on.
Do you know that I don't like Child's Play?
The original or the remake, or any of them?
What the fuck? I'm not a big Child's
Play.
fan.
I have never been a Child's Play fan. It's the one that I just don't go for.
The first Chucky movie, if you will, because they're not all Child's Play. If you want to get super specific with your fucking Nightmare Before Christmas rule, the first Chucky movie that I ever saw was Bride of Chucky, and I fell in love with that movie, as ridiculous as it was. And then I went back and watched the rest of them, and I realized I don't understand. How do you not like them? They're amazing. I just
never
they get ridiculous. Okay, don't get me wrong. They get stupid after the first three. They like Bride of Chucky on their. It's just like you're running out of ideas, but they're still entertaining.
I don't know. I mean, I always try to give a movie a go, and I just went, eh. It could be the whole doll thing. I don't know.
Well, it's like not Phantasm. I liked Phantasm. That was Phantasm was those movies that came on like in the middle of the night. It was so fucked up. And as a little kid, I'm watching it going, what the fuck is
I hate the theme to Phantasm. It scares
me. Because it scares you. I was like, why? It's beautiful.
I dislike the theme. I cannot listen to that without getting goosebumps. I fucking hate it. When I watched it for the first time as a kid, I remember very specifically, I was with a bunch of friends. We were piled into his room watching, we were sitting on this, like just a straight up mattress against the wall, watching it on this, not even HD fucking TV. It was one of the little box ones because it was that long ago. I am old, contrary to popular belief. Okay? I don't look like I'm 31, but I am. Anyway, I remember watching it for the first time. And as soon as it starts and that music started going, I couldn't like freak out about it because I'm like sitting around four other dudes. So I had to be like, this is a good movie, right? But like inside, I'm like, I fucking hate that so much. I don't like that. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird like tune pattern or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it just upsets my brain. I don't like it. I can't handle it. The movie's great. I love the movie, but the theme is horrifying.
Too eerie. It's horrifying for you. That's funny.
I don't like it.
But there's movies that are psychologically horrifying that I can't stand, like the Saw series.
Well, that's just straight up torture porn.
Oh my God. Listen to me. I just saw Spiral.
I can't
recently.
do it.
I saw it.
It was bad, wasn't it?
Hold on. Hang on.
No.
First of all, hang on. Spiral. It was good for what it was.
For what it was.
Yeah.
It had Chris Rock. That was about it.
However, Chris Rock actually does a really good job in this movie.
He does.
Oh no, that's what I mean.
Job.
He's the only thing that's good about it.
And at the same time, like he brings in his comedic aspect into a serious role. Like when he tells someone, when he calls someone a motherfucker in there, you can hear it. I'm just watching him go across the stage, going, "You motherfucker!" You know.
But the problem with Spiral, which I'm assuming this is the same problem with you, is I think. I don't remember what scene it was, but very early on, I realized who the killer was.
Yeah, they gave it away too quickly for me.
I thought like
I wanted since it was supposed to be his new series and this new killer and everything. I wanted to drag it out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured it out before they made it obvious. but because so okay, well, I'm not trying. I don't want to spoil it because this is fairly new,
Yeah.
so let's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't-
it is.
But I figured it out during the scene when they get called out to the car underneath like the bridge or whatever, and he sees the thing in the glove compartment or whatever.
Yes.
And there's that certain camera angle where he's like looking at it. The camera's like on the side of his face, and he's like looking at whatever's in his hand, and you could see
Yes.
it, you could see the somebody in the background just deadpan staring at him. I was like, well, that's definitely it. There's your killer right there. Absolutely. And then later on, they did a scene where they set it up as somebody they set it up as to somebody being the killer, and I thought like, well, that's too obvious. They're trying to throw people off, but like it wasn't that obvious. Like that was the thing, and I thought
Really,
like,
that was made.
they really went that way. Like
They blew that shit.
that's crazy. I don't. But yeah, it is, I don't want to like ruin it, but I spoil it. But yeah, anyway. So
So go out and watch it, ladies and gentlemen, because
I will say this about it. It's like, Chris Rock is amazing in it. In finding out who the killer was a little quick. I kind of think I figured it out more like a little earlier than you. It was just like they bring this guy in, and I was like,
you're ruining it. Shut up. We don't want to talk about.
I didn't say how they bring him in. I didn't say how they bring him in. They're going to bring a lot of people in.
But what makes a good bad movie?
What makes a good bad movie? Oh, you mean like
the Evil Dead?
Good?
Like the Evil Dead to me is like a good bad movie.
Hold on. The Evil Dead is not a bad movie in any way. I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. That movie was supposed to be made as a straight up horror movie, but for some reason it's because of the production quality of it that people thought it was funny. Like, it's not. I do not think for 1 second that the first Evil Dead is supposed to be a comedy at all. I think it's straight up supposed to be a horror movie.
That's what makes it a bad movie. Because it was poor.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But
I'm just saying.
But it makes it great because you just laugh and you enjoy it the whole time.
Yeah, but I think that's because of the production quality, though. Like, I do not think it's supposed to be a comedy at all. I think it's supposed to actually.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
But and then people laughed at it. So the second one, he was like, "Well, might as well fucking go with it." And then yeah. But
kind of like this podcast.
Yeah, no, I think a good bad movie is oh fuck, what's it called? Well, there's Troll 2. We got Troll 2. That's a great.
Oh yeah.
We in Darkstone don't talk about Troll 2 because there's problems with the certain. Yeah, we don't. Troll 2 doesn't exist in our minds.
No.
Anyway,
I don't know what movie what does this movie you speak of?
You've never heard it? It's because of the. Should we just?
No, I know what the.
She was
You
being
not know?
sarcastic. So my
you do know.
definition of a good bad movie is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's another movie I don't like, and I guess that one's for good reason. I could not finish that movie at all.
Those writers and everybody, they knew exactly what they were doing.
I'm sure.
Exactly what they were doing.
I think it has to do with the time period that it came out. Like, it was a parody movie, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I think just because it came out, what was it, the 70s or 80s?
Yes.
70s.
Yeah.
It was the
I think
I was
because of the time period.
I
that it
was
came out.
literally 3 years old when it came out, and my mom took me to watch it at a drive-in theater.
Jesus Christ. I think the reason I don't like it is because of
Right.
the time period that it came out and how it feels like when I look at movies from the like 70s or 80s or anything earlier, I cannot imagine like modern concepts being like in other films earlier, like the parody. I would have assumed the parody movie came along when they made Scary Movie in 2000. But
What about Toxic Avenger?
Toxic Avenger is fucking awesome though.
It's another bad good movie.
That's an environmental movie. Hello, before its time. Technically it is. So I'm watching this documentary that I've been and they talk about it. It's basically an environmental movie. If you think about it.
okay, so good bad movie. I'm gonna find one. I know I have. There's a ton of them that I've seen that are probably
There's
absolutely
got to be one.
atrocious. Well, okay, there's one. All right, here we go. It's another movie that Sam Raimi did not direct, but he was in. No, did he direct it? Fuck. I don't think he did.
Well, if we weren't all using our phones right now, we could look it up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's called Intruder. And him and Ted are both in it. And there's no Bruce Campbell does have a cameo, so it's got to be a Sam Raimi movie somehow. I don't think he directed it, but he might have. Anyway, this movie is fucking it's terrible, but at the same time it's really entertaining because of the unique camera angles that they use. Like there's a shot of somebody answering a phone and the camera's inside the phone looking up at the guy, like through the dial. So there's just like the camera is just this, like the phone dial with the holes and stuff.
Oh,
Like what's the point of
kind
that
of like
angle,
Little
Buck?
Shop of Horrors and the guy's mouth. Okay, I got you.
It's creative, but like, what the fuck's the point of that angle? I don't get it. It's weird. But this movie, there's the ending when the final girl, if you will, is running from the
Spoiler.
killer. They did a tracking shot through every while she's running past every aisle, and the camera is like tracking with her. But they, instead of doing it in one go, they decided to stop and go every single aisle. So like, so it's like they would track her from one side of one aisle to the other until it got, the camera blacked out or whatever. And she would run like she's running like, and then you could see her start and stop running from each angle or from each aisle. And
Oh,
it was-
no.
it's fucking ridiculous. Like, why? Oh my God. Good movie though. Very interesting. The kills are in that movie is amazing. And Ted Raimi, fun fact, Ted Raimi listens to the same 10-second loop of music through the entire fucking movie. The man is listening to the same goddamn song the entire movie. I looked it up. I went through
funny. That's funny.
What song?
I don't know. It's just some random like little ditty that they put into his headphones. I don't know. But
That's funny though.
the whole movie and every part that he's in where he's listening, he's like a stock boy, so he's like in the back cutting up watermelons and shit like that. He's every time he's on camera, he's listening to the same 10-second loop of music. And I'm it's so fucking, oh God, it's amazing. Good movie. Anyway.
Wow.
So
Lisa, what's your good bad movie?
we already talked. God damn it.
She didn't say what hers was.
Yes, she did.
I mean, I guess the one that hits me the most is The Evil Dead, only because when a movie turns into something what it's not supposed to be, that's why I think I like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Because that one was not supposed to be what it was. And they just started playing it at midnight. And it became like this huge iconic thing.
We can't.
In the audience participation.
We can't talk about Rocky Horror because I'll never stop.
Yeah, he won't stop.
I love that movie
Okay.
so much.
It is.
We'll sit here going with
Oh God.
Say it.
Oh, hey, actually, hang on. Since we're on the podcast, I want to show you something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is just like I'm being in a house party with them. Oh, I see him from a different angle running. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, are you related to him, by the way?
Yeah, somehow, some way, I am a little bit. Yeah,
Wow.
I actually am.
Oh, so you got to get into his pants. All right. So,
Okay, let's go back to talking about WeeDot.
Hi.
The woman who's Okay, so so we were talking about this yesterday, actually, and I kind of want to touch on some of this in here because it's interesting. And I don't even know how long have we been going for like right now? I don't even know.
well, it's a little over an hour.
Shit. That's fine. So
You're gonna edit this anyway, so
you both have a talent, the same talent, which is painting. You're
Oh,
artists.
okay.
okay.
Wow, where are we going with this?
I don't
Hey,
either.
I'm just curious. I want to talk about art and shit for a second. Since
Art and shit. Okay.
WeeDotArt. So
Hi.
I mean, I know we already talked about this yesterday, but we just kind of named off shit and then moved on. We didn't actually talk about why. So favorite artist, go.
Ooh.
Oh wait, who?
Uh,
Me?
You first. Yeah, I guess.
I
Okay.
was thinking, I was assuming he was talking to you.
I don't know either. Anyways, well, my favorite artist is Salvador Dali.
Mhm.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, so and then there's why. Okay. So I
Elaborate, please.
yes, elaborate, please. I think part of it is I found him very early on as a kid, actually. I think I was around middle school age, maybe 6th or 7th grade, when I found out who Salvador Dali was. And then also found out that we had a museum in my area where I lived in South Central South Central Florida. I stumbled probably in my art class in 7th grade is when I stumbled upon one of his paintings, and I was just intrigued by it. The way that he would take just everyday items and twist them into this mindset and into a different world intrigued me. I was like, we can do this? I'm like, this is okay. It's like
Her introduction to
surrealism.
surrealism.
Yeah, my first introduction to surrealism. I'm like, this is an okay thing to do. I was just like, it's okay to have a melting clock. It's all right. And it's, it's this whole dream like state in all of his paintings and the colors, but everything was real looking at the same time. And so it just it blew my mind how talented he was. And then when I started reading books on him and went to the Dali Museum and learned more about him and how much of a madman he was, but at the same time had his wits about him, I was just like, I just was taken by him in so many ways. And I have a book. I literally have a book of just about his mustache.
I know his mustache has a life of its own.
This mustache has a life of its own. The man just lived and breathed art, whatever he did. To live like that, I just was intrigued. I'm just like, he thought that everything that he touched was, or even shit. He even thought his shit that he created in the toilet. I mean, it's just like, it just, to have that kind of just freedom in your mind just intrigued me. And I was just taken completely hooked, line and sinker.
Okay. So, and I want all of us to do this. Because I remember having this conversation about the artists. Name one artist that you don't like and why. Like if there's an artist you're like, oh yeah, no.
Well, let's go with your first, and then we'll go, because we touched first and then we'll go to hate.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Yeah, I also want to, after we do those, I want to see each of us, what's our favorite painting. Doesn't have to be by the same person. It could be any kind of, doesn't matter. Because I have mine is.
I actually have a copy of mine. I have, of course I do.
So Lisa, who's your favorite painter?
So, so some people know I'm an artist, some people don't. And what's really funny is I've always painted people, right? A figurative artist. And I came to find out years later that my great grandparents were famous artists too. But the thing about art that I like is art that makes you feel. And all growing up in school, Van Gogh, Rembrandt, Monet, Manet, all of them, blah, blah, blah.
Mayonnaise,
Van Gogh,
mustard.
sorry.
Sorry, doesn't matter.
Van Gogh. But
don't forget that
still one of the best Doctor Who episodes with Van Gogh.
I did specifically set out to see that. I've never watched the series like all the way. I tried to, but I specifically wanted to watch that episode. It's really very sad at the end. I don't like it.
It really is.
Well, it's a sad in a good way, though.
But you wonder if when he goes back, if Van Gogh thinks it's just part of his mental illness. Like, I mean, I'm thinking into a fictional story, but it still was good. But so I do love lots of different artists, but the one artist that almost haunted me, that was just unbelievably deep for me, is a woman named Kathy Kollwitz. And she lived through World War II, Nazi Germany. She was married to a German doctor. They had 3 boys, I think. One of the boys went off to war and died. And her husband tried to take care of people who were being starved and all the stuff. So
Is your favorite painter's a
she did-
Nazi?
no, she's not a Nazi.
Sorry, it was okay. Gary, I was like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Wow.
So-
But fun fact, as Zombie Bry says, she used to do a lot of charcoal, and she would do pictures of mothers and their children dying, and she's all upset, you know, blah, blah. But she did this one where it was a woman like up on a hill, and there was like people behind her marching up behind her, and she's like fighting against the regime. And the Nazis took that picture and tried to use it as propaganda for joining the Third Reich. She was so
Jesus
pissed,
Christ.
but she couldn't fight against it
Well,
because what is she going to do? They'd kill her. You'd like,
Nazis
fuck
were
off.
very they knew how to do their I'm just saying their AD department knew what they were doing. I'm not saying that. Okay,
No, I get it.
They knew how to promote a war. I'm just saying
They did.
they
They
did.
did.
they knew how to do a lot of things.
Their marketing department was top class.
Like, as terrible as it sounds, the Nazis did actually, in fact, get away with killing 1 million people
They did,
of a certain
and they
race.
knew how to, and they
So,
knew
like-
how to sell it. Unfortunately,
Well,
It
what
was
people
fucked up.
don't understand is, yeah,
fucked
they
up.
killed 6 million Jewish people, but then they also killed millions of others, LGBTQ,
It's
people of any race
insane.
that wasn't what they thought was perfect.
It was horrible.
People with mental and physical disabilities, get rid of them, you know, they didn't care.
The
Yeah.
political and racial views of this podcast do not affect anyone else other than us. I just want to point that out. They're our own views.
So Kathy Kollwitz is one of my favorite, most intense, emotional artists. So who do you look like, Brian?
So yes,
I
who's your
hate
favorite
that, I
bride?
hate that now you have a mic and you can do that too. Get close to it and fucking. So, okay, my favorite
Yes,
artist.
I can.
All I can
do is this.
Jesus Christ. It's a toss up. It's a toss up between Rembrandt and Edward Hopper, but if I had to pick, I would go with Rembrandt.
Oh,
Because
I'd go with Hopper. Sorry.
What do you see in his stuff? I want to know what you see in his stuff.
it's purely my fascination with Rembrandt and Vermeer too is purely from a filmmaker standpoint because of the lighting. The way that he uses lighting and stuff in his paintings is
I would say Vermeer is better, but that's
well, yeah, no, Vermeer is known for the lighting, but I would just the way I just like the style of Rembrandt, making it more like he has a better way with like faces and shit. Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that's the whole reason is it's purely filmmaking or film cinematic
directions, focus.
for me or whatever is
How he
'cause-
sets up his scene.
Yeah, and I guess you could say that for Vermeer too. He's another reason why I like. But there's also the reason I like all these specific painters is because of filmmaking. Like it's not because I have an eye for art that I can feel like a certain thing while looking at a painting. It's because it's purely cinematic for me. Like Velázquez, who did his most famous painting, which is him it's a portrait of himself painting like some duke and duchess or whatever, the king and queen or whatever,
Mhm.
and like their daughters in the background, but there's like a mirror in the background. That for me is like blocking a scene. Like the way that he sets
No,
up
you're
everything
right.
in the shot, like he has everything in there. You can see everything, and the way that he did it was beautiful because you could see everything. There, you didn't need to. It's yeah. So I mean, that's why I like Velázquez and Vermeer, lighting and just that's the only reason. And I think the reason I like Edward Hopper the most, or one of second best, is because that might actually be more on the painting side, because he paints all these like everyday situations where like again cinematic view, like every time I think of filming anything, I'm just thinking of like while like driving or walking anywhere, I'll just look and be like, that would be a really cool shot for a movie, just to have somebody like walk by a sign of something. I could just see it in a movie way in my mind. And he does those kind of paintings where he just takes a scene from something or any. My favorite painting of all time, I'm going to skip ahead and talk about whatever. My favorite painting of all time is an Edward Hopper painting, and it's Nighthawks.
Of course it is.
That is, for some reason, I don't know why. I could not tell you.
It's the mood. He created a whole entire story in one snapshot.
Yeah, I think I have no idea why it's my favorite, but it's again probably cinematic for whatever reason it is, but that's what it is. But I mean, there's a ton of paintings that I like a Rembrandt painting my favorite Rembrandt painting is the Night Watch, which is
I'm not a big Rembrandt fan. I don't know why. I'm just not.
His most famous painting is that. He also actually he put himself in that painting. He has a cameo in that painting. In the back, the very back, you can see is like a dude poking up between some guy's shoulders. But that I don't know why I like that one either. I just, that is, I think, my artistic approach to art is why I don't know why I like these paintings. I just have a certain feeling about them, but I can look at them.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Well, yeah, no, okay, but usually people have a reason for why they gravitate towards these.
No, not all the time. I have found why doing art shows and art gallery openings and everything, art is just literally a love-hate kind of thing. It only the human eye only takes in 7 things. A person can walk into something, look at something, and take in 7 things to one painting, and in their experience, in their mind, with those 7 elements that they capture, they can love it or hate it. In that second, 7 things in 1 second. So it's that quick. If they love it, they'll stare at it more. If they don't, in that 7 second, in that seven elements in 1 second, they'll keep walking.
But how do you explain?
It's a marketing thing too.
When you were having your art show,
it is. When you were
having your art show, and I looked through all your paintings, the first and only thing that I saw was the beetle painting that you did. And I was like, I want that one.
An element in that painting captured you in that first second.
Yeah, but there's not like 7 things in that painting that you could look at. It's just literally like, I mean, and there's a lot of different shapes and stuff.
But just like every artist, it makes your eyes move.
It does. It makes your eyes move. And when I say that the human mind takes in 7 things in 1 second, that means within that 1 second, your mind went do. Oh, there's that in there, and it kept you going. That's how it works.
It is
interesting.
So wait a minute, we haven't.
They use it in grocery stores too, right? That's a different thing. But anyways, it's a marketing campaign in grocery stores as well. If there's certain things that are on the aisle, how they're placed on the shelf. Oh yeah.
So I won't say this is my favorite painting, but this is a painting I used to teach with my students. And when you talk about cinematic views, some of you might have seen this. It's called Christina's World by Andrew Wyeth.
Sounds familiar.
I believe. So it's a picture of a girl laying on the ground, like back in the prairie times or something like that. And she's laying on the ground, looking up, kind of leaning up a little bit, looking up at a house way off in the distance. Right? And it's called Christina's World. What people don't know, and it's a great picture actually, but what people don't understand is the girl can't come. Does that sound familiar?
Who'd you say it was by?
I believe there's several brothers, and their last name was Wyatt. And there was, and this was I think it was Andrew Wyatt that did Christina's World, but I could be wrong.
I think, That sounds like another Edward Hopper thing. There, he did a painting.
See, everybody, he's having a stroke right now.
Shut up.
Just watch.
No, there was.
It's amazing to watch.
It sounds like another Edward Hopper painting because there was one that he did where there was a girl sitting on like the front lawn of a house in the background, and her back was to the the painting, not a camera. But
It is, but that's not Edward Hopper. That's exactly what it is. You see her from behind, and she's leaning forward, and she's leaning toward, and your eye does this kind of circle where you go to the house, back to her, to the house, back to her. I mean, the artist did a great job of making your eye going back and forth, back and forth.
Why did I think that was Hopper? That's weird. Anyway.
Because there's a mood to it, like Hopper would do. It's a snapshot.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing that a lot of people don't know, of that girl, Christina, she couldn't walk. She dragged herself everywhere.
That's, I remember.
But people didn't know that. Kind of like American Gothic.
Oh, God, that painting is, I don't want to say it's overrated, but like that's a.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
because every
the
artist
relationship between
loves.
the two people.
I will just say right now, because every artist wants to hear that their painting was overrated.
No, okay,
that's awesome.
Listen. It's not overrated. It's
Grant
just
Wood, right?
It's become one of those. It's become one of those.
You just always say, there's always a positive and negative to every painting. You can walk up to a painting and go, I don't like it, but there's a color element that I kind of dig. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a little something, even though you're like, oh my God, it's crazy. I can't stand it. But
okay,
I like the blue.
all right, you're okay. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So yeah, so American Gothic isn't overrated because it's used so much, it's parodied so much by people. Same thing with like the Mona Lisa. That's not an overrated painting.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like
That's
a
completely
national
overrated.
treasure.
But wait a minute.
My heart, nothing. My heart just like sunk for a second.
I'm not gonna say I don't like the Mona Lisa. I'm not an
no.
asshole.
No, she's amazing.
No, I'm talking about a comment that just went in like the Lisa's room right now. That
What?
Someone's favorite artist is a vector artist.
What?
You can't even see it right now, but I'm holding my tattoo up to the. I'm holding vector artist.
Wow.
He named off a vector artist that I actually dig. I'm in tears.
Amazing.
Oh,
So okay, we gotta wrap this up or somehow.
Holy shit.
'Cause it's been going on for.
oh,
a
wait a
while.
minute. I just want one last comment though.
I didn't get to
Best-
fucking say mine.
Say what?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
God, you guys are
Her
horrible
favorite.
hosts. I would just like to.
Wait,
It's like both you bitches go blah 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 blah. I sit here and go, yeah, this is really great. Let's move on. Oh, we didn't ask our guest what she fucking thought though.
Hey,
but it's
I
okay.
tried to redirect the conversation back to you, so shut up. What? What? You didn't get to say what?
What's your favorite painting?
Oh, your
or
favorite
piece of art?
I completely
My
forgot.
favorite painting. Oh my God. I actually had to think about it. My favorite painting is actually a Salvador Dali painting.
Of course.
It's his classic one, The Melting Clocks.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, it's been overpopulated, but when I saw it in real life, I actually cried. I did. I actually cried.
Yeah, no, that's the effect that art has on people. Apparently, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's,
The
yeah.
This
melting
like-
clocks
okay,
are
so
definitely- this
Perfect
iconic-
example in films that encaptures the way people see paintings and how they react to it,
Mhm.
and how it's different for every single person.
It is.
Zombie, do you know what I'm going to talk about?
No, you said
LA Story, Steve Martin. He's with a group of people in a museum, and and the first shot is just them. They're all looking at the painting. You can't see the painting. And he goes on this whole tirade about everything that's going on in this painting. And it's like looking at the side of her breast, and he's looking at her, and he's talking about this whole story in the painting. And the very end, the camera shows the painting. It's just a big red painting. It's just red. There's nothing on it. It epitomizes how people look at art and how it can mean something to one person and how Zombie's wrong about everything.
What the fuck? What did I even? What? Okay. Oh, God. All right. I was gonna say.
Labyrinth. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Oh, fuck off! My God, we're gonna go after that again. Listen. All right.
Someone's about to get. I just would like to say right now. He's in the chat room. But my brother from another mother, you are so getting snuggles for loving a vector artist.
From Care Bear.
I'm like, not a lot of people like vector artists. I'm just saying to like have a vector artist as your favorite. Fuck. That's like
know what vector art is.
Oh my God.
I don't either, but I was just going with it.
Hey, Zombie Bri.
And Lisa.
No, Zombie Bright, your logo is correct. It's going to be created as that's a vector. Hi.
Well, you did a good job.
I don't know what she means, but that's okay.
You did a good job. You did a real good job. Okay. All right. I think we gotta wrap this up. So it's been like an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. This is a long one. I don't even know if there's no reason to cut any of this because it's all just pure gold. There's no dead air. It's just us.
Oh yeah. It's gold.
Okay.
We're gonna be famous someday.
That's the end of the show. Thank you for listening or watching, I guess.
Yes. And watching us. Thank you.
Thank you for showing and listening to us talk about all of the stuff we wanted to talk about and have your opinion come in every so often.
And everybody that is on the lives watching.
Everybody in the lives who've been watching us, I really appreciate that. Oh, look at, and I have to put a shout out because the person who got me this beautiful microphone so I can seem professional is now in the live.
Oh, thank you.
He is a past student of mine who's amazing, and I love her and her wife, Amanda. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Oh, fuck. We should have had like an ad break in the... Oh, no. Well, that'll come when we're famous enough and people want to pay us to talk. Fuck ads. We don't need ads right now. This is all free.
Okay, well, I would just like to
Lucky
I would just like to say thank you guys for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Thank you for being our first guest, Wee.
Oh, you're welcome.
That is going to go down in history. That's iconic. The first guest we ever had on this show was WeeDotArt.
WeeDotArt.
Amazing.
Well, I'm glad that you guys invited me. It was great.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew.
Ding 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 ding. Running
through the woods. We're running through the woods. Going to the left. Going to the right.
Sorry.